on the edge about to fall. Don't know if you like to see me out.
Right then, here we go. Coming through into the final few corners then, getting ourselves back into the grid positions. I think the top three will be the same by the finish, says Hatman. So we'll see whether or not he is in fact correct. Oh man, I really have. I'm stuck for words. First of all, I mean, you just heard me stumble over like how many sentences did I just stumble over there? But on top of that, I am so hyped for this race. This is gonna be absolutely mental. The strategy is going to be all over the place. The pace is going to be just insane. The tow train is going to be crazy. There's going to be penalties. There's going to be shocks. There's going to be the Carlos Sainz Award being given to Copy at some point in this race because he's P14 off the start. But the lights are on then here at the Mexican GP for the Rwagnation League. Can Felipe get the run off towards turn one? It's go time. Felipe looks to have got a pretty smooth start, but I think, yeah, some idiot stories had a really fantastic start. It's actually going to be a 3-wide run up towards turn one. Top stuck on the inside. Gets on is there as well. It's also Zoe's trying to stick his nose in, but I don't know where he's going to fit this one in. Top going to be squeezed to the inside. He loses so much momentum. Gets on is stuck his nose in for turn two, but Top going to be benefiting on the turn three. There's contact for turn three, and that's Sons and Gets on getting a little bit of rubbing. Vex is right at the back of this, watching it all unfold as yellow flag as there's a bit of mistakes going on for Higgsy. I think he's had contact. Get on, going for a bit of a send down the inside on Top, but Top will benefit because he has the inside for the next three corners. And now, as we get through, it's partway through sector two, as Zone's actually good for the inside here on Get on. He's got it. And actually, Vex is going to try to do the same thing, but round the outside through here, it never works. Get on realizes that, will hold on to P4. And my word, as we're partway through the first lap, what a start that was. Vex is actually going to move down here on zones as well into the braking zone. It's going to be Vex. It will be the gain car there. He's up to P4, but at 1 second margin now. He's going to need to use his DRS and a bit of that ERS.
So his second penalty might be on his way soon as well. As
virtual safety car. Copy and Vanya. Oh no, it's all gone wrong. There's been a severe penalty for Vanya for the collision he's had with Matteo Longe. I think Copy will be... I'm suspecting this is a retirement. And Yoncey's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. This is just everything Yoncey did not want in this race has just happened. I mean, don't get me wrong, it can still change up because the Safso and Matteo Longe going side by side. Matteo's going to try and stick it on the inside. I think he's got it done. Yes, he has. In 13th place then for him. Vanya just watching this all unfold. He's going to have DRS, remember, because we didn't have the full safety car. Safso's coming right back at him. He's already got himself ahead. Safso just seems to have gained some extra sort of momentum. I don't know if Matteo just backed off and let Safso get it. Vanya, he had a look down the inside. That would have been suicide. Top Tom looking for Felipe right now. 4 race lead. He's going to get the maneuver locked in, but he hasn't really got a huge amount of ERS to play with. And this is kind of causing him a little bit of issues. He's kind of almost the same as Felipe. Felipe is slightly favored when it comes to that ERS battery. But Geton, the man who normally protects his, conserves was the word I was looking for, his ERS battery. He's done such a good job of it here today that he's now right on the cusp of getting into DRS of these two at the race lead, and then putting that whole train from P1 then down to P8. But Top Tom is your leader. He's going to get DRS, and he's got a lot of ERS to play with, so why would you not? DRS wing is going to be up in very shortly. He may go for a overtaking maneuver in a Uno Momento. There he is. Look at the pace difference. Matteo will give him a little bit of a defense, nothing more, but Hazard, he is very quick. And on the outside of this, can he get through? He's got, wow, 2 cars in one straight-hand corner. That was fantastic. Hazard, take a bow, mate.
Yeah, he's definitely got some grip on those tyres, doesn't he? But if we look to the front, we've got the Dennis of the Day has just made himself into the, he's kind of just made a mistake by losing things, dropping off and letting the guys who were catching him behind.
Oh, he's got puncture.
Oh, he's got a puncture. I was going to say, it looks like it has no grip, but yeah, he definitely seems to be taking those tyres very well.
We'll guess and see whether or not the stewards have to get involved in that situation. But Dennis has managed to get off those tyres. He's come out right behind Hazard and has brand spanking new softs. So he's going to try and easily cruise past Hazard here. There's nothing that Hazard can do apart from just watch it all unfold.
Yeah, I still believe that Dennis has made a mistake coming out on soft and holding him down, but Getwin has such a large window of penalties that he's probably not a threat to this race win, which really makes Tom the next driver along who could potentially spoil somebody's day.
Well, yeah, absolutely. A really good job from him, and his pace is just blistering right now. He's
seen people struggling on the softs. We've seen the pace go off.
Tom with a send and a half on Brownie. That was too big a send. That's why Brownie was able to get right back at it. I was certain there was going to be death there. But look at Felipe getting involved in this as well. He's side by side with him. They're going to go 3 wide into the braking zone. It's Tom down the inside. It's going to be Felipe around the outside. He's made it work. He's got both of them. 2 cars done and dusted in just one straight. Felipe up to P3. Insane moves. I didn't lose anything, but at the same time, the person he was trying to protect himself from is the cars now ahead of him. And Zoe's down the inside of Brownie, kind of squeezing him off to the edge of the circuit. Brownie's still ahead for now, though, but the soft tires here that Zoe's are trying to utilize are trying to be that little bit grippier, and he's going around the outside of the double right-hander. On Smitty, he has got literally 1% ERS. And now 0 as he comes into it. Tom is gaining as well. He's closing in way too quickly. He did not expect to be as close as he was at that point in time. Does have a little bit more ERS than both of them ahead of him, so he should be able to dump a little bit here and actually pull away. DRS being available for Tom. ERS going full on here. Down into the single digits, right onto almost 0%. He is ahead, and it's got that in. Now, Samidia will need to hop, skip, and jump out of the way for his teammate because there's a very good opportunity here that Hugo's could gain more than he originally anticipated. Samidia sees that, moves out of the way. Hugo's is through. Williams are the best team in RNL, hands down, when it comes to teamwork.
Yeah, you're right there.
Which is not ideal.
Yeah, he's just unfortunate.
Going around the outside here, and Tom in towards turn 1. A fantastic move. This could be Hugo's getting the race win then. That is for net P1 now. Think about it. This is great stuff for Hugo's. He's managed his ERS fantastically. Tom has not. He's on 2% right as we come towards the end of this straight here. And Hugo's now, he just needs to think about all this gap just a little bit more. And if Tom starts to scrap with Hugo's, which you can almost guarantee is going to happen, that gap goes to a 3-second margin. Suddenly Felipe's race winner.
Get owns another penalty there, but yes, Felipe can still win this. He's got about a second to find, but this right now is causing him problems because he's not been able to get past Getland until right now. They've basically just done the switch, so there is still time to find it. Potentially still a race win on the cards, but Getland might need to start slowing down Hugo's to do this for the team. But Getland is going to plummet. He's got 12 seconds of penalties.
Oh, he's back. No, this is not ideal. They might have just about done it. I think he has. Felipe coming through the final corner. Ghetto and has actually backed him up just onto limit. Go P2. Hugo's gets P2 by 21 thousandths. You've got to go to the stewards there, surely. Ghetto stopped pretty much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Rwagnation League Grand Prix here in Brazil. It's the second to last race of the season, and it's going to be an absolute blinder. I cannot wait for this race to get started, especially after controversy last week. I'm Ben Raggy McCollum, and joining me at the commentator's desk is, as always, the lad himself. It's Mr. Mark Hornbadger Meiklejohn. How you doing?
Oh, I'm very good. You know, I just want to quickly give some props to Pika for that edit there at the end of the hype video. That was very good.
Yeah, fair play to him. He's a bay. He is a bay. But forget last week, because look at this week. We're in Brazil. It's 2.6 mile long, 15 turns in total with 2 DRS zones and a lot of elevation changes. Look at the height differences throughout majority of that track. It's so awkward through there. But let's have a look at the championship standings, because it's really coming down to it now. Gellern is currently leading from Zones, who I think still has a chance to pull this back. I don't think he's yet locked it in. It looks like there's... Yeah, I mean, Gellern would need to score so low today in order for that to be fully cemented. But the top 10 is the bit that we're concerned about too, because there's still plenty of people that can make it in there. Can easily still lose out there. Florian is right on the cusp of it. 49 points that he needs to just get a really good result either today or next week in order for him to secure a position for next week. But look how close it is in the constructors. We're literally talking 2 points between Williams and McLaren. You know, add the controversy of last week as well to add to that mix. It's going to be such an explosive end to this season. I have no idea how this one is going to go down. But luckily we can have a hot lap with our good friend and accomplice, Yonti. Here we go then towards turn 1. It's a hard braking zone right at the 50 meter mark. It's right down the gears, and don't lose the back end. Don't get too early in the throttle, because you need to make sure you cut the inside of turn 2 and 3 quite nicely, but the flow has to be perfect. Into a DRS zone as you run up towards turn 4. You're going to have to keep yourself right over to the right hand side and ready hard on the brakes there. Get right into turn 3, gear 3, gear 4. And then get a really good exit through turn 5. Coming towards turn 6 and 7, a double right-hander. This is quite awkward. You don't really want to go side by side, although you can. You will need to keep your foot planted at the right place. Now into an awkward, slow right-hander to a downhill left, long. And then as you're halfway through, you come right back up again. Up to another long right-hander. Brake when you see the curb on the right side. Clip the inside curb, but don't get too much on it. And don't touch the exit curb. It will lose you. Long sweep left-hander into the most important and final proper corner, because you have to get the exit just right, as it is a massive toe, massive DRS opportunity, and you need to make sure everything goes as smooth as possible in this lap. If you want to get extra time here, cut the inside like this, run up to finish the lap time. I know, in an ideal world, you'd be on P1, where life is all good. Right, we are going to be delayed just by a minute, because we need to... Well, I need to do one thing first. I need to turn you up, Badger, because apparently I've got you pretty quiet. They could barely hear you throughout that entire...
Look at them.
I know. There you go. It should be nice and loud now. Hopefully the audience can confirm. I do want to talk about the incident last week, just briefly, as the drivers get themselves ready. We are about to go. We have full today, but yeah, Mexico, very controversial. That final corner, final lap, obviously Getone deliberately slowed down the drivers in order to make sure that he could get his teammate the dub, which, you know, from a team perspective makes sense, and team orders are allowed, despite there being not very sporting, I think is the word. The drivers have all, for the most part, there might be one or two that haven't, have all agreed that yes, they didn't technically break any rules, but that's still very scummy indeed. Oh, I didn't realize the video was playing the audio. My apologies there.
Yeah, I agree with it being controversial. However, I am 100% in favour of no penalty. I think that, you know, he never completely stopped. He never made any erratic movements. He wasn't, you know, doing anything that was, in my opinion, dangerous. It was just exactly what he needed to do on literally the only part of the track that you could do it. So he done what he needed to do for the team, and I think, you know, fair play. It was exactly what was required.
Yeah, I mean, I personally... I've been keeping my mouth shut on this, specifically because I don't want anybody to use my position in this league as against me. You know what I mean? I don't want them to go, well, Rwaggy thinks this, Rwaggy thinks that, because I am fully in support of the stewards. I'm fully in support of the league coordinators, and I whatever the decision they go with, I go with as well, because I think that they do, for the most part at least, a really, really damn good job. The stewards had a really tough call on this one. This was not an easy one to make. I don't envy them at all. I'm very glad that they had to do it and not me. So big shout out to Furball, or the Dr. Mr. Test in chat, because he really did such a good job to keep it under control. I'm going to read it word for word, the verdict, so that those of you in the chat who want to know the answer, this is exactly how it looks. So, the verdict remains that it was a racing incident and nothing more. No further action was needed, was what was said. While Geton slowed down in the last few turns of the race in order to give his teammate an advantage, the stewards don't believe that doing so is inherently punishable. It would have been a different story had Geton slowed down in a manner that was dangerous to other drivers and their races, but the stewards believe this wasn't the case here. This decision was then appealed, by the way, by McLaren and by another team. And these stewards then reviewed it again with additional footage, and following on from that, they've added an additional note. After reviewing the onboards from Hugo's, and especially of Geton, we still believe that our initial reasoning applies. Geton did not drive in an erratic manner, and while he did slightly delay his acceleration out of turn 13, he did not brake check Hugo's behind after accelerating out of the corner. Admittedly, what Geton did was very on the edge, but it was not a clear-cut case of dangerous driving that we believe would warrant a penalty. Hopefully that explains a fair bit to you guys. I mean, here's the thing. From my perspective, yeah, I get it. I don't disagree. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I think from my perspective, I think it's very bad to be doing that. But at the end of the day, that's part of the sport, I guess. Team orders are allowed, and it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. I'm also seeing questions about who Jan Erik is. Jan Erik is Yenab. He is Yenab.
Yeah, and just to touch back on the get owned incident, as we said, you know, this was not an easy decision for the stewards. It has literally been a full week of debates back and forward.
Yeah.
You know, trying to make sure that everyone is in agreement, and that, you know, if there was anything that needed to change moving forward or whatever. So it has been, it's been a very big talking point.
Yeah, literally all week. They've literally haven't stopped talking about it all week, because, I mean, I don't blame them. You know, we are at such a crucial stage of the season, and there is literally money on the line here. We're not talking about, you know, this just being a free league that with no prize on the out of it. These drivers are playing for a cash prize at the end of it, out of my own pocket, of course. You know, I appreciate you all, but if you do want to crowdfund, you know, feel free. Turn up Badger's audio, please. What?
Still?
You're hurting me. You're that loud.
Right.
Hang on, I'll do it. You do nothing. You do nothing. I'll do it. Talk.
Hello, hello. How are we, chat? Can you hear me?
All right, that should be loud enough now. All right, it should be better. Better, I'm being told. Good. All right. Happy days. Cool. Thank you for letting me know, though, guys. I appreciate it. Badger, I haven't done it to you yet, and I need to. I'm sorry. I need a prediction, please, for you. 1, 2, 3.
So, honestly, I think Zones is probably going to get the P1 today. He has a lot riding on this, so he's going to be trying everything he can, and it looks like Vanya might have been... Oh no, Vanya's in the pits. I thought he might have been getting the slipstream a little bit, but... Yeah, I think Zones, well, that's a fairly decent first effort. That's actually second lap on those tyres. He kind of invalidated the first one, but yeah, I think realistically speaking, he needs to absolutely give it everything he can today. He can lose the championship today if he does not win this race effectively. So
yeah,
he's 40 points behind. There's only 52 points on the cards for him, so he needs to make sure that he wins and then hope that Get Owned doesn't score big. But on the flip side of that, I think Get Owned's probably going to get P2. I think he knows that the championship's there, so he's going to be trying his very best to get up the field and make it work. So zones P1, get on P2, and I feel Top Tom could probably pull out for P3 today.
He's hovering mediums at the minute. I don't know if that's a sign of anything, or maybe I'm reading too far into it. Maybe he's debating me, who knows. But I think it would be great to see how good a lap he could do if he was on the softs. I mean, a 106.7 I think is what he did already, right?
Yeah, that was on softs.
I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing a race that's got a bit of rain in it.
That would be interesting, but the only person out there that's actually set a time on medium tyre is some idiot. So yeah, it could be a case of there's going to be rain, and it's going to be early, and somebody has just decided to put in a banker lap. Could be true. So I guess we'll just have to wait and find out.
Yeah, I mean, the sky's not looking good now. I doubt we're going to be seeing rain in the qualifying session, although, you know, normally we do get some sort of forecast from either the stewards or from some of the race engineers. At the minute, we don't have either of those, so we'll have to see if we do, in fact, get one. I think you actually have one there, don't you?
I do, but right now it's basically saying that there's no rain, and we don't know. Sometimes this has been wrong, so take that with a grain of salt. Yeah. We'll wait until we hear from someone else. But I just want to point out Mateo up there in P2 right now with a really good lap. He's actually set the fastest Sector 1 of anyone so far.
It's in the family blood, I'm told. His brother, being the Renault Esports F1 driver, is fantastic. You know, he's got a lot that he could pass on the knowledge onto Matteo. They do have that brotherly love kind of thing there, where, you know, where the older brother's always harder on the younger brother.
Yep.
So whether or not, yeah. Go on.
Yeah. I am the younger brother. I have experienced this.
Yes. Do you have PTSD from this?
Yes. Yes,
yeah,
I do.
I'm the older of five of us. So I'm the oldest of all of us, and I mean, I think I'd like to think I was relatively harsh, but relatively fair at the same time. Florian coming across the line, and he's going to get time on the board, and he's going to go up to P4. These times are crazy close, can I just say?
Yep.
Like, 106 I thought was mental in general anyway, but to have everybody doing such a close lap time with so much time left to go in the qualifying session, this is going to be really spicy all the way to the end.
Yeah, only 2 thousandths between Florian and Matteo, and as Yenab manages to slide in there as well. So it's all very, very close all around the field, and Brazil usually brings that out because it is such a short track. There's not really a lot of places that you can gain much time on, but yeah, this is just incredibly close.
Well, Vanya is now doing his hot lap. Going out there. He's done a lap already, 107.670. 410, sorry, away from Hazard, who's P14. But, you know, when you've had a good lap, although this one doesn't look good for his first sector, he's already a 10th down, so maybe this is not the one. It's not the one, Chief.
So I am just checking just now, but I think... Nope, never mind. My graphics not updated correctly.
Okay.
I thought Zone was out on the same set of tyres that he'd set the previous time on, but I am wrong, or there's some error on my screen. So, yeah, that would have been very interesting to see him try that.
We're coming to the line now, though. Has he improved? Yes, he has. 106.375. So he's edging just slightly further away there from some idiot, who's obviously P2 as it stands. You got Yenab coming back into the pits. We've got Mercedes coming through as well. I think this is Vanya, who is staying committed to this lap time. Is this going to be an improvement? Yes, but not by too much. It is a 107.4, so he's going to stay P15. More people getting times in. Kagan, Safso, Alex Bud, they're all getting their lap times in. We're still waiting to see both Get Earned and Dennis get a lap time in. Get Earned is out now.
Yep, Get-On's on his lap now, but he's going to be catching a lot of traffic that are kind of on slow laps if they aren't going to move their feet up too much. So we'll see what he can do, but yes, he's left it quite late to set his first banker.
Now this is a race. Brazil is actually the only circuit where I've seen rain hard enough to cause a safety car. It's also the only other circuit that I've ever seen that has such a high probability of rain. that I wouldn't be surprised if we do see rain happen during the actual race itself. Here we go with Ghetto. No, can he get himself up into P1? No, P7.
Ooh. Very far off from where we would normally expect to see him.
So I've just been told Zones needs to outscore Ghetto by 15 points to stay in with a chance of winning the Drivers' Championship.
Yep, it's as I said, very close between them, but right now everything's kind of sitting in Ghetto's favour. You know, he's got a bit of a points buffer and he's only got 2 races left, so needs to do well here today, and if he does, championship's his.
I'm going to stay on board with Top Tom. I'm predicting here pole this lap.
Okay, good to know.
Watch this.
I will
get ready. Ready. Watch sector 1. He's a 10th up. That puts him 106.6. Got another 3 tenths to go. But this is where his sector 2 improves, because I think I'm going to predict.
106.6 is not that fast though compared to, but that was apparently 16.4.
You gotta believe. You gotta believe. Through sector 2 right now. That was only the first sector. He's not yet finished. Okay. Here comes into
I'm watching.
The end of sector 2. Just one more corner to go before that is over. Let's see how his lap times look now. Is this an improvement? Oh, it is. This is gonna be pull, baby. I feel it. Oh. Don't clip it. Don't clip it. Look away. You saw nothing. So anyway, we're on board with Copy. He's coming across the line to start a hot lap, and he's currently sat down there in P10. He's going to have to now try and, yeah. I am so sorry, Top Tom. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, you've done it again, as usual.
It happens far too often. This needs to stop happening. I don't understand why I'm so cursed. I just have this happen every single time it comes. I mean, he was looking so good. He was 4 and a bit tenths up, which was what? He was already on par to match Zones' time. Oh, he'd have smashed it. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look through the sectors. He would have. He would have. Yeah, he would have been. He would have been beaten it by a 10th, I think.
The stewards have been in touch to inform that Rwaggy's under investigation for intentional commentators cursing Top Time. Oh, Copy. Hello. P4, 106.569. Fantastic lap time from him. And, you know, this is a guy who you never really expect to do well in the qualifying because he's such a race-focused kind of individual. Although, having said that, he is probably the most unluckiest person I've ever met. So, yeah.
Or maybe you just keep cursing him.
No. No, I refuse to accept that one's on me. Sorry. that I can take responsibility for Top Tom. That's fine, because I couldn't have timed that anyways if I tried. But I can't take responsibility for copy stats. Oh, you know what time it is? It's that time.
Go on, say it.
It's the calm before the storm, as majority of the drivers are in the pits getting themselves ready for that final lap, because this is going to be probably the most crucial lap they've had in a long time now. The gap is so close. In fact, let's have a look. If we look at the gap to the leader, yeah, look at that. The top 4 are all separated by 2 tenths, and then he breached that just. If you go all the way down to top 8, oh! Zones with a 106.1. He extends that massively. Fantastic lap from him, but my worry is he's now going to be in so much trouble because the track is still yet to evolve, and I don't think he's going to have enough time or tyres to get in and out again.
Yeah, absolutely, he's got enough time to get in and out again. My worry will be the tyres, but right now, I mean, is the track really going to get 3 tenths faster? You know,
you'd be amazed.
That's some hell of a time he's put in.
I think if I remember correctly, the F1 Esports, when they were here, they did a 105.9, I think. I mean, I am going from memory, so don't hold me to that, as it is going to start a hot lap now. So we're only 2 tenths away from what the Esports level time was. Oh.
Which is just absolutely incredible.
Hazard invalidated going through turn 2. That is already going to put his lap in the bin. Luckily, he's caught it early enough so he can actually just back out and then go again. We have Kagan going back into the pits as quick as he can. maybe has enough time to get in and out again. Zones is right behind him. You said that they absolutely have enough time, so this is on you if they don't.
I mean, there's still 2 minutes left. It's only a minute to get round, so, you know.
Yeah, but you do have
when
to
I
get
did
in.
it, there was still 3 minutes, so, like... I said
Rwaggy
zones,
receives a
that's what
chase
happened.
cam penalty for the next F1 5-lap he participates in. Joke's on you, I'm not doing F1 as a driver anymore. Screw you, stewards. Stewards are getting lively today. I backed them up once. I backed them up once on their decision, and I get this. I'm throwing you both. I'm throwing you all in the dirt next time. I'd say Elongate out there doing a hot lap as well. We have a Red Bull, which was Hazard. Now you got Vexit about to do a hot lap. We have the other Renault, which is Brownie, about to do a hot lap as well. So now we're going to start to see the last-ditch attempts at getting themselves onto pole position. We'll see whether or not they can break that curse of being so far down for Renault. And even Red Bull have had a very hit and miss. Vexit has had some races where he's done fantastic in the qualifying, and he's had some where he's just done horrific in the qualifying. So we'll see now if he can break that curse. Some idiot has done a lap already. A 106.344 was what he could achieve. Jan out there on mediums. Maybe he knows something that we don't. Dennis coming to start a hot lap as well. We have a Haas going into the pits, so they will not be improving. Uni coming to the line then. Where's he going to go? P3. Big jump up for him then. A 106.521. We have also got Higgsy coming back into the pits, and then we go to Copy, who's being towed, it looks like, by Hazard. I think Hazard is on a hot lap as well, so we'll see if this is any good. Copy's on a hot lap, on an out lap, sorry. Hazard has crossed the line and goes P13. It's a 106.863 for P13.
I just want to check. Do you honestly think Yenab could go faster than a 106.5 on medium tyres? There's no way.
No.
Surely there's no way.
No. I don't think he's... Unless he's getting the tow, which
he's off.
He might be just giving the tow for all we know. Coming through then, it's not Huni, that is Top Tom going to start a hot lap. We also then have Dennis coming up to the line now then to chuck a lap time in there. The track is starting to warm up now due to the sun coming out, but it's a bit too late now. Has Dennis got himself an improved time? No, it's a 109.9. He's going to have time to go again though. The lap times are starting to be locked in here. Where is Top Tom? He's invalidated. He's invalidate. I'm so sorry, Ferrari. Please don't send the Mafia after me. I don't want it.
I will also take some blame for this because, as I say every week, I don't mention Top Tom because he always seems to have a bad result after a do, and I said he was getting P3.
Yeah, on you. Get on P9. Not actually able to get a good lap time in. So, well, I say good lap time. He's only half a second off. But Florian also not able to improve. We also have a Mercedes, which was Zones across the line. He actually improved, believe it or not. A 106.122 from him is a fantastic result. Copy into the pits. Vania into the pits. We have a Red Bull coming to the line. That is Vexit. He's coming back into the pits. Is it Brownie following him in as well? Yes, it is. We have the other Ferrari. Nope, that is Top Tone coming in. Hazard has done a lap. Danico is on a hot lap. He's one of the last few that actually has a chance to get a lap in. And here he comes then. So from P14 with a 106.9. Can he improve? Yes, a 106.6. And he's in the top 10. He knocks Yonti into, and this is the bad news bit here for Racing Point. He knocks Yonti into his best starting position. He loves P11 because he can always go for that alternate strategy. However, there is a suspicion. We've not yet had confirmation, but there is a suspicion that there is going to be rain in this race. If there is going to be rain, strategy goes out the window. This is all about reaction and perfect timing.
Yep, it's all about just making sure that you're on the right tyres at the right time.
I mean, luckily this track is quite a short lap time track, so even if you do get caught out, you won't lose that much there. But yeah, you really don't want to be in big trouble. And just look at how close this grid is. All the way down to P16 is where we finally breached the 1 second margin line. But the rundown looks as follows. So Zones gets pole position with some idiot there, P2. Vexit, P3. Huni, P4. Jan, Eric in P5, or Yenab, Matteo P6, Copy P7, Florian P8 with Ghetto and P9. Danico rounding out the top 10 with Yonti and best of the rest. Brownie P12, Top Tom P13, Hazard P14, Higgsy 15th, Vania 16th, Dennis 17th, Kagan 18th, Safso 19th, and Alex Bud in 20th place. But again, remember, the strategy is going to be so important coming into this race. If it is a dry track, if it is going to be wet at any point in this race, then again, reaction time and the call from the race engineers is going to be so important to let you know when to get in and make sure you capitalize as much as possible on the mistakes from the others. But looking at that sky, I'm seeing clear blue skies. I'm seeing sunshine pouring down on the track, and I'm seeing a prediction from the chat and from you, Badger.
From me?
Yeah, you're about to give me one, aren't you? So I'm seeing it coming. I'm foreseeing the future. See?
In the chat, I was like, okay. I was like, I didn't realize I typed.
No. That was my power of foresight.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think Zones is going to win, but I do think, I genuinely think it's going to stay as is. I think Zones will waltz off into the distance. Somebody will claim P2, but he'll be fighting Vexit quite hard towards the end. I think he'll jump Vexit on penalties.
Okay. I think the championship is decided today. I think Gellin is definitely going to be within the 15 points that Zones will outscore on. I do think Zones is going to win this race. I think somebody at P2... I want to believe in Vexit. I really do. Like, every bone in my body says believe in Vexit. But unfortunately, I just can't. Every time he qualifies well, it is never converted. I don't think I've ever seen him convert something like this. So, Huni P3.
Yep, I could see that. Huni's in for some good luck. But what I'll do is I'm going to let you take the start, and I'm going to quickly disappear for a minute. So give me a second.
Okay, I think we lost Yena. Didn't realize. I heard he got dropped, but I didn't realize it meant out of the race. Oh, we got a call from Joe Hayes who's saying that Mateo's going to get a P3 today. All right, I can back that. I like that. I mean, he's got a hell of a competition up against him. It's going to be down to that consistency, which if you looked at the past two races, penalties have been his biggest issue. Like, he's got the one-lap pace. It's consistency that has really let him down. So whether or not he's fixed that in the week or not, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But this is going to be a banger, as they say. All right, Zones on the front row of the grid. Sumidia right there alongside of him. If Sumidia gets a fantastic start, he could really ruin the day here for Zones. But I think we're going to be seeing Williams coming with some sort of strategy in form of a revenge against McLaren last week. We're waiting for the drivers to get into their grid boxes now before we get this Grand Prix underway for the second to last time this season in the Rwagnation League. Oh, season 5. It's been an absolute banger, and I'm so glad we're here. The lights have gone out. We are going to have to sit tight for a second. And it's go time, and away we go. Matteo gets a drive-through for the jump start. That's big, sad there for him. Zones gets a fantastic start. He's staying ahead in P1. It's also... Oh, no! Vex has gone very deep in towards turn 1. He's going to have a horrible rejoin. Needs to make sure he doesn't cause any issues. He's dropped right the way down to P12. But after that, even further, 13th now. He's right behind Top Tom as we charge up towards turn 4. This is a very clean run in towards it. I think everybody's got it clean. Other than that one off there from Vexit, I don't think we've seen any issues. Everybody's got wings fully intact. It looks like Kagan's looking for Vania, but he had to back out of that one. Vania did shut the door very quickly. Kagan might still go for a bit of a send down the inside. He's got his nose stuck in there. Vania's gone deep. He's made a mistake there. Kagan is going to be wheel to wheel with him. Soft tires on that Renault will mean that he should be grippier throughout here. We're on board with Higgsy. Lots of cars losing their back ends here. Lots of sends happening. Vania's leaving that door wide open. He's trying to get around the outside. It's never going to work. Back end kick out there from Higgsy, but he's kept it together. No real issues other than that cut. Brownie's just had Kagan's on the inside of Yonti. Yonti's been swallowed whole this race. Right down to P17. And the drive through here for Matteo more than likely mean he's coming in this lap.
I did see him actually collect some damage as well, but it looks like his wing's okay. I thought I saw some debris, which means they would potentially need to go into the pits again.
I think it was Yonti.
Yeah, bad start there for Matteo. And yeah, Yonti definitely got some damage and is needing to come in and, you know, fix himself up.
Soft
Onto the
tires.
soft tyres.
Yeah, that's a call. I guess he can't really go hards to the end here, so yeah, he's got no other choice. But Geto and Florian, P6, P7, looking good from the driver's standings, not looking so good when it comes to the constructor's standings. So we'll see how this goes for the remainder of this Grand Prix. We do have 36 laps in total for this Grand Prix. We're already on lap 2. This is going to be a very interesting race. There's been a breakage in the train. Copy right on that limit of the DRS there. He needs to burn that ERS. I've criticized him in the past. Not this season necessarily, but in the past I've criticized his ERS management skills. I said before he used it too much. Now I'm saying he's not using it enough. He's actually lost so much time here because he's not quite staying true with the pace of everyone else ahead of him. And now this is leaving him wide open. He's going to have Geto on his backside soon. Then Florian and everyone else coming up for it as well. This is where we're going to see a lot of issues.
Yep, and right now if we just have a look through, Zones has only got that half-second advantage, and now the DRS open, he's going to be having to burn some extra
Dennis!
DRS behind.
Dennis, no! This guy cannot catch a break. A mistake has been made, and a yellow flag safety car, virtual safety car, sorry, has been called. Yeah, Dennis has retired. That's an on-track retirement. He might get into a bit of trouble for that one. I wonder what went wrong. Oh dear. Well, we'll
I
have
didn't
to worry
actually
about.
catch the instant, so yeah, we'll need to try and get a review of that at some point. But yep, that's one driver out.
Vanya and Hazard banging wheels, interestingly, under the virtual safety car. Vanya wants Hazard to go faster, and we are back racing again. Vanya got caught there as well because Hazard really backed up. I don't know if that was that intentional from Hazard?
Are they double stacking into the pits, maybe?
I doubt they'll be boxing this lap. They're on two different stops. Sorry, two different tyre strategies. Like, one's on softs, the other one's on hards. There's no reason to check yourselves into the pit unless you have wing damage. Copy's been swallowed whole already by Geto and round the outside through turn 1. Fantastic maneuver by him. And Florian's ready to go as well.
Getland is on a charge. He's up 4 places already, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him probably taking the, 3rd place on the podium today.
Copy on the inside here, trying to get back at Geto, and I know that he's particularly not happy with the decision that was made for McLaren. So Copy wants to try and ruin their day, and now he's decided, all right, now I want to fight, and I've used all of my ERS, and I've got no way of getting back at you. So I think insert the Star Wars reference here, state here. What is it? Anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering, and all the others.
All the others, yep, that's the exact one. That is the quote.
Yep. That's unfortunately is what's happened here for Copy. He's felt it. He's been stung by it, and now he's falling down the order as a result. So, at the end of lap 4, going into lap 5, is Zone still your race leader, with some idiots still in P2 and Huni in P3. Yena P4 is looking pretty good. I just want to get a position change brought up for you here. So everybody's gained except for Vexit, Mateo, Higgsy, and Yonti. Obviously Dennis is retired, so he's out of this Grand Prix altogether. And now we'll have to wait and see how it goes for the remainder. Vanya and Kagan have been scrapping through turn 1, 2, 3. Looks like Kagan is the one who's come out better off here, and he is back into P13 once more. Got a lovely rev limiter bug there. The train is very evenly spaced out. There's still a lot of people within the big train. And now that Geto has actually put the pace down a little bit as well, he's brought it right back into being pretty much 11 drivers all in one big train. We'll see.
Yep. And he's I'm just having a look. The actual lap times from Getland are identical to Zones in front.
Yeah, and Zones doesn't have the toe. That's the other thing. So Zones may still be hiding a fair bit of pace in the race to try and help him out a little bit. This would be fantastic if he could keep it together. And these stewards have been in touch. The incident between Hazard and Dennis on lap 3 is under investigation, so we may hear from them soon. Although Dennis has retired from the session, there still may be a penalty issue to Hazard, which may come in favours for the other drivers out on circuit. We will see.
I'm just looking, Copy's now just fallen out that 1 second margin. He's used too much of his ERS trying to fight them. And that's the train broken. So, yep, P1 to 6 might now waltz off into the distance, but you know there's still a chance. Copy can bring this back in as he's just on the kind of limit of that 1 second.
Zones just made a big mistake through Hamilton Albon corner. Oh no, that wasn't Hamilton Albon corner. That's coming up later. That was a mistake there for Zones. He just went too deep, it looked like, and he's dropped to P3. That is not good for the championship standings now.
Nope, not what he wanted to see at all. But, you know, as you said, he's probably got some pace in his pocket, so this is the time to show it off, but he's outside the DRS zone.
We got a two-car battle here, Zones and Yenab getting themselves wheel to wheel. It looks like Yenab is the one who's benefited the most, but now Zones has the ERS. Has he?
He's got a big red X on above his name on my screen.
He has a big red X on... I didn't see him disconnect. Let's quickly try and get him back in. Is Dennis under investigation for deliberately retiring on the circuit? Yes, that doesn't surprise me. There we go. So Geton is going to pass Zones now. It looks like Zones has lost connection to the lobby of some sort. So that could be a disaster for him then here. Brownie, P8, Danico, P9. Brownie just slipped down the inside there through turn 4-5. And now Danico's looking for the inside. He's had to back out. Very smart there to not go for a send. This is still allowing Top Tom and Vexit to get in this. And bear in mind, Vexit did a very good job qualifying well. He's just not done a very good job of holding this through. Kagan, 3-second time penalty. The first person to get a penalty issued to him due to off tracks.
Yep, and I'm just looking, I think, I never seen a message saying he'd rejoined either, but it looks like Zones is back, so he is going to rejoin and see his championship rival in front of him now.
Yeah, and he's going to really need to put down some crazy level pace, and he's going to need to get, I don't know, he's going to need to get a voodoo doll, he's going to need to get, I don't know, some sort of black magic, he's going to need every curse you could ever issue. I mean, if he slips me a 20, I can start doing some, I can start chucking some curses around, we'll just see what happens, and see if whether or not Get-Earned ends up DNFing, because that's realistically now the only way that Zones can still keep his championship hopes and dreams alive is if the race just suddenly turns to crap for him. If it does, then the Zones might be able to recover this. Yellow flag sector 1, that is Safso who's had an issue and lost the place there to Alex Budd.
Yeah, I'm just having a look now. Zones looks like he's on a charge. He has caught back up a little bit to get owned, and yeah, he needs to do so much now. Like, it was looking like he potentially would have lost the championship today anyway, but you don't want to lose it like this. And there's a yellow flag there in sector 2.
Yeah.
I think that one of the
penalty as well issued there for Alex Budd for extending track limits. You've got Yonti and Kagan. Kagan's been into the pits and gone onto hards, so he's going to try and take these to the end. Yonti has been into the pits 5 laps ago and went onto softs, and his tyres will start to wear down quite thin soon. Huni on the back of some idiot. Actually, I've just realised some idiot has still not yet won a race.
Nope,
Can this be the one? I'm not saying that this is gonna be the one. I'm saying, can this be the one? Vexit! No, Vexit! You can't overtake off the track. That was always gonna. Oh my word, Hazard! Good dodge there. Yeah, you can't overtake off the circuit. A 3-second time penalty issued as well. I think that one's a bit harsh. I mean, I don't think it was an incident. It looked like it was just off tracks in particular that caused the issue.
Yeah, that seems a bit harsh, but he potentially could appeal that if he doesn't get too many warnings from here on out. But
stewards have been in touch. The incident between Hazard and Dennis, no further action.
Okay, well at least that one's off Hazard's shoulders. He can relax a little bit and just try and move himself up into the points.
The steward's also going to hopefully give us an indication soon as to what is going to happen for Dennis in regards to the intention of retiring on the circuit. Because his car was still fine, he could have still driven it, but he chose not to, obviously because his car was in bits. I don't doubt the frustration. Yeah, the rule is a rule. Copy losing the place to Brownie there, who's on some next level pace. Kagan, actually, he looked like he's had a bit of a spin. Yeah, he's been on the grass. He didn't quite get the exit he wanted. He looks to be having some serious issues.
Yeah, it does seem to be problems for him.
He needs a safety car. In fact, Vexit needs a safety car as well, and he's actually still there in P13. Oh, Kagan into the pits. Retirement in 3, 2, 1. Retired. No? All right, he's getting a new wing and mediums, I think. Yep. Alrighty then. So, after 10 laps of the race have been completed, well, there will be in a second, Samidia is now your race leader. Huni is hunting him down. He's got Jan, his teammate, there in P3. But Geton and Florian, 4th and 6th, well in this train. Huni using a lot of his ERS to get through into turn 1. That is now Huni in race lead. Samidia, though, has got a decent amount of ERS to deploy. Huni does not. Whereas now, the DRS being available for Samidia, he sees the red flashing light on the back of that car. This is an opportunity for him to potentially go for a send, but he decides against it. Top Tom's had an issue. Is that in the pit lane? No, that's just through turn 1, 2.
Yeah, it looks like he's
That
had
puncture?
a little bit of an off.
No.
No, I can't see a puncture on him. But yeah, going back to Hune and Samidia, like I don't think Samidia needs to do anything. He knows that Hune can't get away from him. He's got the ERS over him. He's got the DRS. You know, Hune's in a very difficult spot. Personally, I don't think he really needed to make that move as his back end now sticks out as he's catching up there to I think it's the back of Brownie. No, not the back. Brownie, it must be Kane. Yeah.
The problem, though, for both Williams boys is that they need to think about the McLarens because they are only 2 points between them in the Constructors' Championship. It can't be decided here today, but it can be decided next week. And that's the problem. If they don't figure this out now, they run serious risk of this going horribly wrong. Kagan has now retired from the session. He is done and dusted. We are down to 18 drivers. Florian, actually, he's going into the pits as well to get off these 11-lap-old softs. So we are now going to start to see the pit lane start to get more active. The issue is, though, both the Williams drivers are on the same strategy and right next to each other. So they're now going to be in a situation where I think Yenab will probably box this lap because Samidia tends to take his softs further than anyone else tends to before. Yeah, he's going to have to get off these tyres soon, though, because they will go pop and they will go smash if he doesn't do it at the right time.
Yeah, we saw it last week with Dennis, you know, taking the tyres too far, just caused him a puncture and completely ruined his race, really.
Yeah, 100%. Somebody has recharged his battery a fair bit. Oh my word, Yenab has 100% battery. Like, I get you want to go for the tyre management side of things here, and you're still in the train for 1, 2, and 3, but Samidia, oh, he's actually realising what he's got to do. He's going for it. He's gone for the moving towards race lead. He's taken race lead. Uni has not really put up much of a fight, but a big lock up there from Samidia going into turn 1 will actually back up the train just a touch, which is allowing now Geton to manage his ERS quite nicely, but Yenab needs to apply pressure. Yenab has to be the wingman that Samidia needs right now. And it's not about who gets the race win necessarily. It's about you have to look at this as a constructor and make sure that you are putting as much stress on the McLaren boys as possible. Like, Geton has to be sweating to stay with you. And I think with the fact that you've got all that battery yet to deploy and you've got Geton who's sat there on 53%, it's a massive mistake to not be doing this. Yeah,
we've seen how good their teamwork is over the season. So, yeah, they just need to make sure that they line up with each other and get it done.
Yeah, they really do. So, we've heard from the stewards the incident between Hazard and Danico will be investigated post-race. So, the stewards are not going to issue any penalties as it stands right now. I didn't see any contact between the two, so I'm not sure what that's referring to. Although Yenab is in, so he is blocked. This is actually really good for Samidia now. Samidia needs to... Oh, it's not quite as good as I thought it was going to be. I thought there was a 1 second margin, but Geton is within it still. So he is going to have DRS. I was going to say, if Uni was to like suddenly just go, right, I'm going for it now, and send it in towards turn 4, Samidia just needs to let him go and not fight this at all. But now, I feel like they've boxed the wrong car. I feel like they've boxed...
I think they've done this right. I think the undercut will end up putting Cuny at risk of getting jumped by Yenab. So long as Yenab can come out, clear air, do what he needs to do, which it looks like he's coming out right in front of Higgsy, but if he can make that stick and then just continue going, get on the back of Vanya, by the time Cuny comes in, he'll have lost that position, and therefore it'll be 1 and 2 for the Williams boys.
I can see the ending to this race already. It's going to be another controversial one. I just know it. I just know it.
You can feel it in your bones.
I can feel it in my bones. Geton is looking to try and close back in on Huni so he can recover anything that he's lost so far. He's actually only 6 and a bit tenths away, so yes, the toe is not very strong, but it is still existing, and that is ultimately what is helping Geton here. He's now completely in equal level as to what Huni has with P1. We have a car off track that is Zones, who's parked there. He's actually just getting himself going again. I know he's had a lot of issues with network today, which has caused him to disconnect on a couple of occasions. And that is also pretty much putting him out of the running for the Drivers' Championship. We will be, by the sounds of things, crowning one Geton today.
Yep, it looks like it. You know, Geton just needs to keep his nose clean and do what he's doing, but Zones, through issues that he seems to be having with his wheel and then issues with his network, this championship's just slipped away from him, and what could have been a fantastic title decider in Abu Dhabi looks like that doesn't have an option now. It was definitely in it won this race. No one looked like he had his pace, and yet now, from issues, he's way down and out of the points.
Well, we've got pit lane. Samidia and Huni both in. Geton stays out. This could be dramatic now. With Geton staying out, this could actually make a massive difference. Samidia should be able to get a really good outlap. But now you can see, look at the pressure that Geton feels. He deployed a lot of ERS coming out of turn 3 to try and help him get a really good solo lap time in. Yenab has actually set the new fastest lap time, which demonstrates the tyre pressures are... the tyre performance even is so much better on the mediums right now, fresh mediums, than those of those used up softs. And we'll see whether or not this is actually going to help. Actually, Samidia has come out behind Yenab. Yeah, I think.
Yep, it has.
I think this is great.
But this, as I said, they've now got both drivers in front of Huni. So yeah, it's swapped the drivers around, but in the grand scheme of things, Williams don't really care about that right now. They care about the constructors. So
exactly,
it's working out exactly as they need it to.
We have Top Tom, who has retired from this session. He's gone into the pit lane and done the retirement. Oh, somebody actually lagged backwards. He's lagging again.
No.
Somebody has been cursed.
This is unbelievable.
Geton's going to be P2. Well, net P2. Oh no. What is happening? Here comes Geton.
Yeah. You had to say it's going to be controversial, didn't you? You had to open your mouth.
Hey, listen, I wasn't thinking in this manner, okay? There's Geton coming out the pit lane. This is actually going to be really tight. Really tight. Geton is actually going to be right on the back of these guys as they come through. So Geton will stay behind Samidia, but he's obviously gaining a little bit. Samidia's now realizing what he's got to do. So much pressure on his shoulders right now, and he's through up to P4. Yenab is going to have to... I think, honestly, if you're Williams, you say, look, pull back. Bring somebody forward. He has nowhere near the ERS levels that we need in order to defend this. You have to pull your teammate out of this.
Yeah, but it's a risk to do that. It is absolutely a risk to ruin your own race, knowing that the speed of Get Owned behind you. You know, if you slow down to bring your teammate along, you're also bringing Get Owned along, and that is just something that, you know, does Yenab really want to risk a race win?
I think honestly, yeah. Because Geton naturally has more pace than Samidia. It's just Samidia is that much better on the strategy. I mean, it's not like... I'm not talking a full second faster than Samidia at level. But what I am talking about is that when it comes to this situation, Geton is so comfortable when he's following cars, right? Williams need to pull away. They need to drag him away from McLaren as quickly as possible to basically put it so that Geton has to fight Huni. Huni's already shown that he's not afraid to get into a scrap. If they keep that battle up, this could be really good for Williams to then go, right, okay, fine, I'll actually start, you know, helping get away now. But look, Samidia is being swamped. Huni's closed in due to the DRS. Geton is closed in as well due to the DRS. And now it's, you know, look at the ERS levels. 86% for Geton. Samidia barely even touching 20.
Yeah, it's definitely in the favour. As usually it is for Get Owned. 100% there now, so he can go anytime he really sees the need to. So this is what I'm saying about Yenab, you know, knowing just how fast and how good Get Owned is with his ERS. If he slows down, he is opening up himself to this entire train, and Get Owned can make the move stick. You know, he just doesn't seem to be going for it. Like, he's not been using his overtake. He's just sitting here. He's like, I have plenty of laps, plenty of time. I don't need to do this.
Yeah, this is scary now for Williams. I mean, realistically, it's 2 cars versus 1 car, so they should still benefit in the long run. But Florian needs 1 safety car, and he's certainly well within this race.
Yeah, Florian can definitely still get points for the team.
Exactly.
Whether it will be enough.
He's going for a battle with Vanya now, around the outside through turn 4. It didn't quite work out. He did have to stay behind him, but you can see that red flashing light, which tells him that is Vanya at risk. He has no ERS. Around the outside, we're going to go through turn 6 and 7. Fantastic move there from Higgsy. The better energy management skills paid off once more, and he's up to P7.
Yeah, that was a great move. He made it stick. And yeah, right now, he's got a large gap in front of him, so he needs to hope that the amount of VRS he's got just now can help him pull away from that 1 second margin of Vanya. But he's only got about 20% over the top of Vanya, so
right, here we
let's
go.
see if he can actually make it stick.
Somebody has the DRS. He's clear. But now Getland realizes what's happening and has to get a move on. So somebody pulls out of the way to try and help Huni fight this through, and that's exactly what's happening. Huni stays on the inside. Getland go around the outside in towards turn 2. He's going to have the proper line, but it's going to be favoring Huni now. This is going to be all about the drag race. Huni doesn't have the ERS that Getland does, so Getland will realistically take this position as we're coming towards turn 4. He's up now to P5, and if you're a Williams driver looking in your mirrors, not only are you furious at the result from last week, you're also fired up because you've got to get away from him fast.
Yeah, but can they do it? You know, we've seen the pace. We know that Get Owned right now is probably going to charge his battery right back up to 100% again and then do it again. So Hazard's there. P2 is now falling into these clutches, but obviously he is in a position where he still needs to pit as the same as Brownie in front. So what does Hazard do? Is he going to get caught up in this?
Safso's had an issue.
Yeah, Safso's off.
This might be the cause of a safety car. He's still going.
I think he's good. He's still going, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's still good. It's good. All right, so now Hazard is in the pits. Williams boys are free. And he's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's not good.
Nope, not good at all. Yeah,
All
but
right.
as always seems to be the case, we are getting the Williams boys and the McLaren boys fighting with each other on the track. This is great to see.
I mean, from our perspective, it's fantastic. You know, this could not be any better time. They got the drama between the constructors fighting for the constructors, but also they are literally in the same train right now, battling on the circuit for as many positions as possible. And Hazard managed to get out the pits ahead of Florian, who does also have a penalty to his name as well. But look how close it is between these top 4 drivers. They're all well within range of being able to send it on each other at any point. I'm so tense. I don't even know how. Yeah, I'm with JC on this one. I've got a feeling team orders are coming up. Yellow flag again in sector 2. I don't see what could be causing that. It's already gone again, so nothing to necessarily worry about. Get owned on 54%, so he's not having the time of his life. He's also not using DRS.
He's just getting an invite out to zones. He's disconnected once more. Hopefully that gets him back in there. But yeah, right now the top 4 looking very, very good. Hune, you know, he's not doing too well in his ERS, but he keeps trying to go for it, and it's dropping him into 0% and just can't do anything about it. Whereas Get Owned's been, you know, pretty good. He's managing it again. Somebody is doing pretty good as well, and Yenab, surprisingly, has still got 50%. So all the 3 in the front are looking pretty handy, whereas Hune is just barely holding on.
Yeah, the problem is now neither of the 2 Williams can actually get out of this. When Yenab had the 100% ERS, great. What needs to happen is there needs to be a no, like, don't use the ERS and don't use your fuel mix if you're some idiot. Just sit in standard and, you know, don't turn overtake on. And then Yenab could get through. We've got a Haas off track there. That was just getting out of the way for the blue flag. And then they could have used it to pull him away and, you know, break that gap. But now that they're so close together, it's almost impossible for the Williams boys to break away from Get Owned here. The only thing they can do is defend to the end of the earth for these positions and make sure that Get Owned does not get through whatsoever.
You know what they could do?
No, don't say it. I know exactly what you're thinking.
Slow down
No.
and put them into the clutches of Hune.
don't do this. Don't do this to me. This is already horrible feelings, horrible emotions. It's going to happen, though. That's what I was meaning when I said earlier. I said, I've got a feeling we're going to be seeing some controversy at the end of this. And I still do. We've got another 13 laps to go before this race is done and dusted. And the controversy can still come in thick and fast, but we'll see whether or not they decide to be the better team. We'll stand on that moral high ground. I mean, even if Get-On does get through, like, they're still going to outscore McLaren overall. But
yep,
it's the next race. Again, no matter what happens here, it's still going to go to the next race, but you need every single point you can get for this race.
Here he comes. Get-On's, I think, going to make this move. He's going to potentially dive. Or somebody that seems to have some really good straight line speed. Oh my lord, that could have ended in tears.
I don't think they were expecting it to go the way it did. I mean, big! That's huge! Get-On getting a 3-second time penalty. Suddenly the pressure is eased. I wish I had a webcam on there because I genuinely was blown away. Could not believe it.
I genuinely have not seen him get a single warning, and it didn't even look like he went off track there. Like, he's definitely still had 2 of his tyres on track. I was on board with him during that. That's very interesting. This is what happened to him last week as well, where he seems to have gotten penalties where he had video evidence of him not actually being off track. And so those penalties were removed. Or like it went off track and instead of getting a warning, he immediately got a penalty.
Yeah, so you know what's coming now though, don't you? You know exactly what's coming now. Get-On is understanding of the situation. He has to switch his strategy up. He can't just sit behind them anymore. He has to go all out. And look at how much ERS he's deploying. Somebody is getting so much tow here from Yanab. But now this has left his inside wide open. Somebody has just covered him off. But we've got another DRS zone. We've got more ERS to do the deployment of. And somebody is in trouble. He doesn't quite know how to get past this. Yanab is going to have to let him by just to try and help him out with that ERS situation.
Yep, and Yenab's actually sitting really pretty on his ERS right now. So both Get-Owned and Somebody used everything they had to try and get this overtake done. And Yenab's just decided, you know what, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to let you by, and I am going to try and hold back this guy.
This is very solid teamwork from the Williams team. That was exactly what had to be done at exactly the right time. Yellow flag sector 3. That is, I believe, Mateo. Yep, he's had an issue. I don't see a puncture or hear a puncture, so he's good from there. We do have the Racing Point boys who are close enough together to get the DRS from each other, but they're not pushing particularly hard. They're happy with that P6, P7, at least for now. However, this fight for the race win is really difficult. So actually now, Samidia can actually sort of continue the pace that he's had before. He is kind of a risk scaler because he doesn't actually have a great deal of ERS to deploy, and this is now in terms of all the situations available, Get-On needs this one to stay as is. However, he does have to worry about one, I wouldn't call him aggressive, but opportunistic Ferrari behind him. Huni is ready to go whenever an opportunity does arise, and Get-On knows that, which is why he's trying to put down as much ERS as he possibly can. But now he's going to be feeling a bit helpless. Like, what can he possibly do?
Yeah, he's in a situation right now where he has no ERS. He's got that penalty, and he's struggling. Honestly, he's in a position now which we don't often see him in, which he doesn't really have any options. He is struggling.
So, all right, I'm going to read this here, and I'm going to tell you, and we can see if I'm right. Yanab is intentionally slowing down. He's intentionally slowing down to make Get-On fall outside. Oh, basically, as soon as Yanab falls outside the 1 second margin on Samidia, he's basically, at that point there, going to hold Get-On back. And then as soon as that's done, he's then going to go ERS and go, because he knows that Yanab doesn't have ERS to defend with. Get-On doesn't have ERS to defend with.
Yeah, I agree. This is exactly what I was saying they should have been doing a few laps ago. I actually think this is the correct move. They need to slow him up, because as long as he stays in this train, he's going to be a danger. Yes, right now he's struggling, and you know there's not that many laps left. But if you can get out of that 1 second margin and then just boom forward, you've got the ERS to do it. You've got the straight line speed to do it. So yeah, that is actually the correct move, and I wanting to see it pulled off.
Yeah. Yellow flag sector 2, that is of course for Alex Budd, who's adhering to the blue flags and staying out of the way. So good job from him. I want to hear, I want to know from the Williams garage how many times Samidia has cursed McLaren this race. I bet you there's been a hell of a lot.
Yeah. And right now, you know, there we go. Yenab's absolutely deployed everything he's got to get right onto the back of Samidia, but he hadn't built up enough of a gap. And so Get-On's managed to slide back in there. So, yeah, if he'd done that a little bit more, you know, just to keep pushing him back, that could have worked. But he kind of shot off a bit too soon.
Feels sad for Zones as well, who looked like this race was going to be his. But unfortunately, Network has kicked him in the dirt, and yeah, P14 is where he sits. And I've just seen him in the chat as well, which tells me he is no longer participating in this Grand Prix.
Yeah, I've sent him a bunch of invites, and it seems that every time he gets one, he gets kicked back out again, which is, yeah, it's upsetting. He had an opportunity there to win this race. It looked like it was in his hands.
Safso off track. We went through turn 3. Oh, I think this is it. I think this is the one. We've got the rev limiter bug here for Yenab. The gap is pretty good. DRS still available for Yenab here. Will allow him to regain a little bit of time. Get-Owned is kind of recovering his ERS, but nowhere near as good as Samidia is. And this is big brain. Oh, I love it when, you know, when the penny drops finally and you're like, oh my word, that's actually amazing. Basically, Yenab isn't actually trying to fall outside that 1 second margin. He's just backing Get-Owned up and then making it so that Get-Owned has to fight with all the ERS in the world to try and bring himself back up to Yenab again when Yenab then deploys his. So this is allowing Samidia to recover his battery really well. And in comparison to what Get-Owned is doing, all we got to do now is just Williams have to wait for their battery to get to quite a high percentage on Samidia, and then both just bolt, absolutely take off. But doing like an area where you wouldn't normally expect it, so like the run in towards turn 4, for example, would be nuts.
Yeah, it's an option. The only thing is, I think Get-Owned has enough now that he can stick with them. But at the same time, I don't think it matters if he sticks with them or not. He's got that penalty. Yes, it potentially could be removed, but he's got nothing in which to move forward with.
Yeah. But Williams just needs to keep Get-Owned busy. They need to keep Get-Owned sweating so that he can't do anything. Because, like, there's no way for him to really break the 3 second gap, especially with only 6 laps to go. So if you're the Williams boys right now, you're thinking, all right, cool, let's just continue doing what we're doing. We've got no reason to change this up at all. You know, we can just hold Get-Owned back. We're going to get the race win as long as there's no contact between the drivers at all on the circuit, or an off track for that matter. This is really good as long as they maintain that consistency. The only sort of red herring in this, and it is a red herring, is the Ferrari, Huni. He can absolutely ruin the chances for Williams here if he wanted to. It's not that he's going to necessarily do it for that, but he's got a potential P2 he could snatch in, maybe even a race win if he was able to find pace.
I doubt he can get the P2 or the race win, but he can definitely get P3 in physical position, but I don't see why he would, because again, he knows that penalty's there. So as it stands, there's no reason for him to do it, you know, so he's using a lot to stay with them.
Alex put off track. Yellow flag. We might see... He's actually stuck there because he's obviously waiting for cars to go through.
Yep, he's going now, so it should be fine.
Because that's the only... That would really ruin it. For if we go a safety car now... Can you imagine the scenes? Oh my word. God. Like, they have to box, all of them.
Who would you put your money on if it was a safety car?
I mean, it's still Williams, but
I will tell you...
not box. You cannot not box.
I think Get-On wouldn't box.
But he would lose the race even harder than... Yeah, you'd have to box. You have no choice but to box. You would lose so much.
Yeah, he has to. I mean, Get-On would be the one that would suffer most from
100%.
From the safety car. But if he doesn't box and maintains track position, you know, it could be.
Well, actually, thinking about it, if a safety car is called now, Williams getting even more. Oh, no, the double stack.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it's a
no.
precarious situation for everyone except from Huni. Tell you what, though, Brownie's managed to get himself back into this fight. Yes, he's got a penalty, but he's been slowly reeling these boys in, and now he's within that 1 second margin. So, you know, well played. He might actually be on for a sneaky extra position again, depending on whether his penalty was justified or not. We will see. But yeah, he might be on for some extra points. He's definitely cleared to Danico behind, who is 12.5 seconds away from him, so he shouldn't be worrying about that penalty too much. But yeah, he still might gain.
Shout out to Alex Budd. Every time he's been blue flagged, he's very safely and very smartly got out of the way. It has cost him more time, but he has made it to not affect the top 5 for effectively the race win here.
Yep, he's doing exactly what is required to keep this race alive.
Alright, well, we'll continue in. 3 laps to go, 4 if you include the remainder of the one that they're on right now, and Samidia is on track. Oh, nope.
Don't.
Not saying it,
do not do it.
I held myself back. I already did Top Tom Day, I don't really want to be doing it anymore.
Yep, you keep that cursed mouth closed, please.
I'm trying.
But yeah, this is exactly what the Williams boys needed after last week. You know, they feel that they were robbed of a win, and here they are the next week, currently sitting P1 and 2. They've done everything they can. They're driving well. Their strategies have been on point. It's just been such a great thing to see.
So, I've just been threatened in the chat. If I swear to God, if you jinx him, I will unfollow. Okay, roger that. The one thing I do want to point out, though, is that there is a concern here for the Williams boys, because Getund has actually done a really good job of recharging his battery quite well. Because we're at the stage now where we've only got a couple laps to go, he can actually really start to deploy the battery as he sees fit. I mean, he's already very close to the back of Yenab here. He's not... Oh, my word, that was so close. Getund nearly run into the back here of Yenab. And look, the gap is starting to extend. Yenab has actually lost out a lot of time between him and somebody. Whether this is intentional or not, I'm not sure. But Yenab is going to need to try his best and hold the whole field together. Florian has got another penalty. I think that's his second. Oh, he's got loads. He's actually going to fall outside the points. Yep. So the only point scorer is going to be Get Earned right now. Yep.
And I actually just want to point out, though, Get-On's done this at a perfect opportunity, because right now they're catching up to back markers. So this could cause them to get staggered. So if he now starts applying the pressure as they're getting staggered, you know, this could be great. Yeah, it's the AI zones, unfortunately. So,
but the AI don't get ghosted when we turn ghosting off, which we have right now, which is what is allowing Geton to get into a 3-car fight coming in towards turn 1. This is going to be around the outside. Yenab has to fight. He has to defend for his life here, because this is huge for this Grand Prix. 1 penalty for either of the 2 drivers ahead, and Geton is suddenly on for a P2 or even potentially more. But this has to be the tiniest laps that we've seen from the Williams boys, because the gap is too close.
Yep, and Get-Owned blew everything he had, and it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. He now needs to recharge his battery again.
A wild AI zones appears, and suddenly the scare happens for Williams. Oh my word. We are on the second to last lap. We're about to start the final. Desperation starts to set soon, and that's when you're going to start to see things get a little bit messy, especially as you come in towards turn 1. Here we go then. Starting the last proper run on this lap. Yes, there's going to be another run on this back straight, but realistically, there's only going to be one run that matters, and it's going to be this one. Here comes Brownie on Huni. He's going to go around the outside in towards turn 1. He's already got that position in, but he does have the penalty against him. But if anybody gets one, so if Huni gets one, sorry, he's suddenly covered off from that. Up to P4. Geton deploying every ounce of battery that he can to try and do anything about these Williams boys. But they've looked so good this entire race, and they've only got to get through one more lap.
Yep, and as I say, I think it was the correct decision when they pitted Yenab early to jump Huni, and it's worked out perfectly. Yenab gave the position back to Samidia, and now he's on for his first race victory, provided he can get through the final sectors without making a mistake.
This is on him, not me. I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
I'm not accursed, so it's fine.
Let the record show. I didn't say it. We are on the final lap. Only a couple of corners to go. Last proper corner here. And some idiot who, you know he's been driving with sheer anger in his driving style today. But I do not fault him for it in the slightest. Geton is giving it the full beans on the charge down to it. But some idiot, for the first time in RNL history, will get the race win. Yenab will get P2. Huni gets P3. Geton finishes in 4th place with Brownie in P5.
Yeah, but it's a great march up the field from Brownie there to get P5. Yes, he had that penalty, but well done to him.
Definite, vengeance, justice for Williams. GG, absolutely. Very well done there. I think, do we call it karma? Do we dare call it karma?
No, I do not call it karma, for I believe that Geton was in the right from what he done last week.
Maybe from a rulebook perspective, but from a moral high ground perspective, hell no.
I honestly, I think that if you gave him the opportunity to do it again, he would do it again.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. But that doesn't say much. Vanier managing to snatch that fastest lap point away. It will not go to any of the drivers, but at least Vanier has helped Zuns. Well, help Mercedes, I guess, technically, to a little bit. I didn't see who had it beforehand, though.
I thought it was Brownie. I thought Brownie had it, but I'm not sure if he was the last person. So yeah.
I'm really pleased that of all the races that some idiot could have won, this was the one he won after last week. Like, very well deserved, I think so much effort went into his race today. I know for a fact that he is baking in his seat right now, just absolutely sweating his heart out. And yeah, 100% deserved.
I want next week's highlight video to contain the clip of some idiot screaming as he crosses the line.
Yeah.
Because we know that there's a clip of some idiot screaming as he crosses the line.
100%. 100%. There needs to, if there isn't, I mean, Hugo's isn't here, so whether or not it's actually... there is. Okay, good. Well, Samidia gets the race win here. The end of the Brazilian Grand Prix is Yenab P2, Huni P3, Geton P4 with Brownie P5, Copy in 6th place, Danico 7th, Hazard 8th, Higgsy in 9th, and Vexit rounding out the top 10. Florian getting best of the rest there in P11, Yonte P12, Vania P13, Zones 14th, Mateo 15th, Safso in 16th place, with Top Tom the only other driver to finish, as our 2 DNFs today were Kagan and Dennis. And now... don't go anywhere, because we actually get to hear from the boy himself. Well, all three.
Before we do, the driver of the day.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think we gotta give it to him. Do we give it to Yenab for being the best wingman in the world?
See, I honestly, out of the two of them, they both drove fantastically. Obviously, Brownie, I think, is an honourable mention. I think he also done a great job to get from where he was to P5. I think he is an honourable mention, but some idiot. What a race! I think you've got to give it to him. That was, yes, the team play. Like, he would have finished P2 if not for the team play. But he probably also had the call on whether to pit Yenab first or not as well. So, from a team perspective, overall, I think. They've just done such a fantastic job, and it would be an absolute crime if we did not give somebody the driver of the day.
All right, I'm with you. I'll go with that. Yeah, let's give him the driver of the day. Somebody driver of the day. There we go. Right, interview time. Now, I know that when I put on the hot lap video, it was quite loud, so let me quickly fix that now. One sec. 1 second. There we go. I've muted it, so it shouldn't deafen you now. There we go. Let's get the Huni in first for the interview, and then we'll get the Williams boys in afterwards. Is Huni is not online. He's not around. Huni, if you are there in the chat, if you would like to get involved in an interview, please join your voice channel in your team's voice channel, and I will drag you in. However, he is there. There we go. Huni, hello.
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 Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Well, P3, but you weren't expecting that when you got into this race.
No, I definitely did not. I took a big break from the game. Obviously, I wasn't here last week. I did one race earlier at 6 p.m. and it was alright. And I did not touch Brazil before this race. I literally did 0 laps. My first lap was my first quali lap.
Wow.
So
that was pretty good then. To be able to do what you did, that's really good.
I quali P4. I was like, what? Because it wasn't that good of a lap. I was like, okay. And then I was just trying to make sure I didn't lose positions because, I definitely knew I was not going to have the pace. So I was trying to make sure I don't lose positions. But then just people started crashing and going out. And then I guess I just kept it clean and it was a podium.
Yeah, happy days. A nice P3 in the end. Obviously, you could see the battling that was going on ahead. I'm not sure if you did you know everything that was going on?
Yeah, I was trying to stay out of trouble, to be honest. I didn't want to get involved.
You saw the league chat and you're like, I'm staying well clear of that one. All right, but still, I mean, very little practice to come into the race and actually, properly drive hard like you did. It was
I mean, I was surprised. I wasn't really falling behind. I was just keeping up nicely, but I didn't really want to try anything because, I just didn't want to ruin it. So I just stayed behind and kept it clean. And I was on 2 warnings as well. So every time, turn 1, turn 2, I was just staying 5 meters off the curb because I was scared I would get a pin.
Well, it's a shame for your teammate because your teammate was doing a very good job in the qualifying. Until I jinxed him, should I say? He was actually going to get pole until I jinxed him.
Really?
So Top Tom, I formally apologize. That was all me. My bad. But yeah, and then in the race, it just went even worse. Things just went from bad to horrific. It would have been great to see you both on there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be cool, but it happens from time to time, right?
Now, next week is the final race in Abu Dhabi. Are you feeling confident? Is that a track you're going to smash? Are you here next week?
I don't know. Abu Dhabi is not really a track I like, but I'll try my best to see what happens.
So when I ask you for a prediction, you're going to say...
I don't know. I don't want to jinx anything. I'll just keep quiet.
We need confidence. I want to hear P1.
All right, let's go P1.
All right, easy slaps. Easy
I'll win.
It's so easy to convince you.
Yeah, there you go. Peer pressured into making a prediction. I like it. Now, in all seriousness, congratulations on your P3. Very well deserved. And I look forward to seeing what you can deliver in Abu Dhabi.
Yep, thank you.
All right, let's get the first of the 2 Williams boys in here. Let's go with our P2 finisher. It is Yenab. How you doing?
I don't know.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about the
really
elephant in the
good
room,
for the
shall we?
team. Fantastic team result. Idiot asked me if he should give me the position. I said no, and now it feels a bit tough. But obviously he offered it to me, and I said no. So no complaints about anything, absolutely no complaints. But I just I don't know. It feels weird. Say like that. I'm just a bit. I know, but it's a fantastic team result. I think I will be more happy about that tomorrow. So he asked me to give the position. So fair play. I gave him the position earlier, and that's why we were kind of thinking of swapping again. I don't know. I don't know what to say, to be honest. I don't want to drag anything down. It's absolutely fantastic. It's just it's a bit. I know I'm honestly confused right now with myself.
Yeah,
but in itself, 1-2 is the result we were kind of dreaming about. To be honest, I didn't think I would have been that fast as well. Qualifying P5, I would have expected a P8 or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just
Feels
feels a bit,
weird.
because we changed position to cover from get owned, obviously, and then to
Do you feel like
I
the race was kind of taken away from you? Although,
no, not at all, not at all. Because I
okay.
got asked to switch again, and I said no because I think it will mean more to some idiot than to me.
Yeah.
He's really emotional and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, a little bit.
that's why. But I don't know. I'm just a bit shaking. It's just if you get asked to give the P1 away, and then, but again, it was my decision, so absolutely no complaints. Like
Just to
it's just
touch on
hard to express what
Yeah.
I'm thinking about right now. It's just so no, really happy for the team. It's absolutely fantastic, absolutely, especially after last week, obviously as well. Just to get a 1-2. I mean, what do you want more as a team? And also, obviously, he's our consistent driver. I'm the real reserve driver. So in that regard, it's also positive.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
just want to touch on the pit stop though. Obviously you managed to get in front of somebody due to the pit stop. So whose call was that you would come in first?
It was my call, just because we had Tuini between us, and if I undercut, then that's a good has a good chance of getting us a 1-2. So that's why we decided to do that. Or yeah, obviously I asked the team, and then he said okay, and then we got the 1-2, and Huani was behind us. So that was just the main objective there, and then after that we were talking about swapping places, like swapping all the time for ERS management. But it worked out this way. And yeah, as I said, I think it means more to some idiot compared to me. So it's absolutely fine. It's just also the reality that I feel weird right now.
Yeah.
But everything is good. No complaints.
Good.
Absolutely fantastic result. And some idiot, I think, will give you like a bit of more
Yeah.
like completely absolutely stunned interview, I guess.
I do want to talk about Abu Dhabi though, because that is next week. Do you know who's driving next week? Is it you or is it Hugo's? What's happening?
I have no idea. Hugo said first of all, if Hugo wants to race, then he races. I just don't know if he wants to race or not. Because this today, I think he had something else to do. So like real life related. So that's why. So I don't know if that's next week as well. Yeah, I know. I'm just happy to come back with this, obviously.
Yeah. Good. Well, congratulations on the P2. It was really good to see the teamwork between you and Samidia. Honestly, it was incredible how well you handled the situation together, and your reactions for everything were just so well timed. And yeah, congratulations on P2, and I look forward to seeing, well, whoever drives next week in Abu Dhabi for the final race.
Yeah, thank you. I think the teamwork was like you can't do that better. 1-2 is yeah. All right,
agreed.
thank you guys.
Thank you. Let's get our race winner, and for first time ever in the Rwagnation League history, Summer Idiot has actually managed to get himself a P1 victory. How you doing?
I had a lot of things I wanted to say. I've been trying to compose myself for like let's see, like the last 10 or so minutes. Just elation, man.
Yeah,
I don't know how else to frame it.
But I bet it feels even better now after last week, right? You come into today and you were in control of the majority of the situation. There was maybe 1 or 2 moments where things just felt a bit awry, but you both handled it so well together that you brought yourselves back out of it and secured a race win.
Thank you for saying that. That's you know how I always say it's always down to the team we have here and how we want to execute, and that was everything we needed to do. We did it. I want to believe we did it the right way. We did it working as a unit. We didn't do anything. We did everything we needed to do to help ourselves without taking it away from anybody else. We just maximized our race to the best of our ability. That's the way I wanted to do it. After Saturday, what I had chiseled into my mind was we're gonna gonna get our rights. We're gonna get our rights, but we're gonna do it in a way that we know how to do it, and in the fair way. And that's what I had into my mind. I started practicing literally Sunday, getting ready for this because I had it so chiseled into my mind that I was gonna make something. We were gonna make something of this race today, and just committed to that as hard as I can be. If I haven't, I put in the effort that I need to make this happen. And like I said, what we did today was a testament to every single one member of our team
Yeah.
doing
100%.
everything we need to do. And I was in that position to take advantage of that, and that's like, finally we did it. We did
Yeah,
it.
You did it. A dub in the pocket. Well done. I'm really pleased for you. I was every time I saw you race each weekend, it was always the same thing. We see you get really solid result, you'd get a podium. Even P2s would be in the pocket as well, but never quite managed to get that dub locked in. But today was the day in Brazil. You managed to get it in there. The 25 points as well. And in terms of the constructors, yes, it's obviously still going to go to the last race no matter what, because that was always going to be the realistic situation. But going into Abu Dhabi now, you look really good from a Williams perspective to take the constructors title.
Good race next week. That's what we're planning. I've got something I'm really happy with coming in for next week. I'm not sure how it's going to play out, but when we're done with these questions, I just want to say one thing for one very special person that I had also chiseled into my mind. Once we're done with this,
Can I just say one thing before that?
Yeah.
You know, some idiot when I told you that when I signed us up as 0 times NL winner, that we are now destined to change that for one of us. So that worked. And I think the 1-2 was also something we were kind of visualizing or dreaming about more or less. So
we were hoping for that. I know. I know.
Go on then. What do you want to say?
Okay, so it's something to my girlfriend. I was telling her about everything that was going on from Saturday. She loves hearing about this. I love her for that. She's really, really interested in everything I'm doing. She's like thankful to have her in my life. But I promised her one thing. If I get this chance to speak here, I'm gonna tell her just like how much I love her, how much I want to do this for her, because there's a motivation in that just strengthens me and makes me find one just a little bit, just a percent or two more when I think about it, when I need something to just find those extra half a tenth here and there, because that's how I build myself into my motivation, is stuff like that. And like I hope you get the chance to hear this, Vanessa. I love you, and this is for us. This is for us.
Oh mate,
Jesus, it's gonna make me cry.
Yeah, I'm welling up here. There'll be no webcam when I go to Among Us, let me tell you that. No, in all seriousness, seriously, really, really well done. I just dropped something. I don't know what that was, but that's not good. I'm really pleased that you managed to finally get your race win. I'm kind of glad that it took this long, honestly, because it means so much more now.
Wow, toxic.
Well, no, because otherwise it'd have been easy slap. See you next week. But speaking of next week, Abu Dhabi. I need a prediction. Huni says he's getting P1. I want to hear it. Where you going?
You know what? Like I always say, I'm always going to do deliver what I can, undersell, over deliver. That's always going to be what I intend to do. And I have something I'm actually really interested in using for Abu Dhabi. I've got a plan in my mind. I have a race. I can visualize how I want to execute it. I just say, let's just another top 5. I'm not sure if I can't. I don't think I'm going to win. I don't know if I'm going to get a podium, but always aim for those points. Aim for a top 5. Aim for something like that. And like that's what I'm going to go in with.
All right. Alrighty. Well, congratulations, both of you. Well done on the P1-2. And let's see if you can lock that constructors out next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Congrats to Juani for P3, by the way. I just noticed that. Congrats to him on that. That's his best race of the season, I believe. And congrats to Janab.
There is also one other congrats we need to give, which is a congratulations to Get Earned, who is the Season 5 Drivers Champion.
Yep. Congrats to him. He's claps been
all around.
Yep. Yeah.
Despite last week, he overall deserves it. Has to be said. He's really fast. He developed a lot in this year, I think, in regards to pace. So well done to him.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Class of the field with him and Zones. Class of the field.
Yeah.
Them.
Fantastic drive from him.
Congrats to him.
And that's it for the Rwagnation League Grand Prix here in Brazil. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate for you today. Obviously, it's the usual Ben Raggy McConnell, and joining me has always been Mr. Mark Hornbadger Meiklejohn. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much. It's just, I'm sad because I don't know if you want to announce it.
Yeah, sure. We'll do it now. I will most likely, 95% sure, not be joining us for the next season of the RNL. So it's been fantastic. You know, there've been so many fantastic races and so many fantastic moments. But Abu Dhabi will be my last time in the commentary booth.
Get your Sages in the chat. Right, we are going. I'm being begged to play this clip. The reason why I've not shown it already is because I don't have a way to. I don't have it set up so I can play a video and actually show it in this scene collection. So I have to change scene collection in order to play that video, which is why I've not played it already. So shut your pile, Beaker. I'm on it. All right, let me change the scene now. If the stream dies, don't go anywhere. It'll be back in a second. It shouldn't die, but if it does, don't go anywhere.